And so 2017 is almost knocking on our doors, so let's try to look a little bit further into the future. So 2016 actually was a great year for authentic sound on YouTube, but also in my life as a musician it really changed a lot. We developed a kind of business model around authentic sound. It's all very young and very premature, but we want to develop that further in 2017. And so what's going to change in 2017, or what are the hopes, what are the projects? Some of them we can talk about right now. So first big change in 2017 is the Pianoforte. I've made recently a video about that, and the piano definitely will come in 2017 and maybe even around May or June. So that will give us a major change, not only on the YouTube channel, but also for me as a musician. I have to give a place to that piano. More on that in a minute.
Where they can capture the overall characteristic of the instrument without suffering the problem that we suffered in this room, that when you get to a certain distance back, the microphone's actually capturing more of the sound of the room than it is of the instrument, so you lose the dynamics of the instrument.
Yeah. So secondly, we must make a decision on the recording studio. That's something that at the end will be something we need to do. It's a major decision. It implies a lot of risks actually financially, but in order to keep the production level for YouTube, but also for the recordings that we plan to make, and even make them better, make them more flexible, that we can work during daytime more with light of sunshine, so to say, and not always in the evening hours, the studio will be necessary. And so that's one of the big projects in 2017 probably. So next, recording of the Bach partitas. I've been talking on that a long time. We have been doing now rehearsing live stream videos, which are great. We will be live streaming also the recording of the Bach partitas and make a project out of that. More on that in upcoming videos on the channel. I'm figuring out how we're going to cover that process, but one thing is sure, that I must clear my head of everything else and focus on the Bach partitas only for perhaps 1 month. So it might be so that the Authentic Sound YouTube channel is going to have a big change during that period, only focusing on the recording of those partitas, which can be fun actually also for you to follow that. I think it's quite unique that a musician gives such an insight in not only the way he is approaching those pieces and he's rehearsing them, but also during the recording sessions. Probably they will go live, and the next morning those videos will be uploaded as real videos for YouTube, maybe connected to a daily vlog or a vlog once every several days, to just tell you and inform you how things go, because it takes a lot of preparation, not only for me as a player, but the second main issue of the Bach partitas is they will be released on vinyl. Of course, you will be able to buy them as well as on CD and on digital download, but the vinyl box is something we really want to put a lot of effort in. There will be beautiful boxes with artwork. Then you have the 3 vinyl discs, you will have the CDs in there, you will have a book with articles, will have a score. Probably, it's all probably because there are projects with my fingerings and annotations, so that you not only have the music I play, but also the score that I'm playing from, but then in the printed edition. So it will be a big project, and we have learned making the CDs now that those projects take time and effort. And the big difference between making a CD production and a vinyl production is the cost. Making vinyl is just very expensive, certainly compared to a CD recording. And certainly if you want to upgrade, as we are doing now, the artwork, we want to make it so beautiful that if you have that, you will put it in the midst of your living room just as a piece of art. And if you open that, and that's the big plus for us. The vinyl is, of course, for me, that's the hi-fi world, and it's the closest that you can come to the experience you have when listening to a recording on a tape recorder, like we have now here, the big studio tape recording. That is, if you've never heard that, that's really a unique experience. Of course, who has a tape recorder? And duplicating tapes is very expensive and very complicated. So the vinyl, the disc, the record, so to say, is actually the closest that you can get to that experience. But by providing or by making such a project in an artwork, in an art box, in a box with vinyl discs that you open, there will be white gloves in, it gives to the audience, to the public, again the feeling that this is something that costs us a lot of time, effort, talent, maybe experience, years of study and practice, whereas a CD today is, and you know, as you are a musician, you know what I'm talking about, the CD is giving as a business card. Even though you have recorded the Goldberg variations, it's just something you give as a present. So the value of a CD, as much as we have put time into these CDs, and we will produce others as well, is for a general public maybe not the best way today to arise an awareness of time and the effort. And time is money. Also for us musicians, we should count that it takes to make those things. And just by producing a vinyl box, opening that gives immediately that feel of preciousness, of creativity, of something that need to be treated with the same respect as it was created with. So that's the main reason we are doing that. And we will be talking on the vinyl productions, of course, a lot more, because it's a major project. Second finger on the B flat, and it stays there. So something else, third project, Pianoforte, you have the Bach partitas, something we want to do, and I've touched upon that already. Authentic Sound will become also a publisher by providing scores, making scores. I've get the question quite a lot to make scans of my personal score with the fingering. Certainly when doing the practicing hours now, I'm sharing with you my fingerings and my thoughts on that, combined with the technique and the performance practices. This all combined. And if you're on Patreon, the members of my Patreon list and a certain reward level, they get the scan of my copies if it's copyright free. So they will have the fingering. But I want to distribute that on a larger scale, make a printed edition with annotations that would serve a public of amateur and good amateur player or semi-professional players who are interested in my insight in that. So a kind of historical fingering, and I put it quote unquote because it's always a reflection, it's an interpretation, but maybe also to my professional colleagues who would be interested in the way I'm playing that music. Then on YouTube, the piano is coming. That will give a major change in YouTube, because now the channel is really focused on the clavichord. The piano is, for me, an instrument that will serve for music that's not possible to play on my clavichord anymore. And I'm talking in the first place on Beethoven. That's for me the first reason to ask Joris Potvliegen to build this piano for the music of Beethoven. In order to learn to play that instrument, I will share that with you in a new series, Learn to Know My New Instrument. It will be fun to make, I think. Then, when that's done, we will start a new series, which will take 6 or 7 years, I think, playing all keyboard works of Beethoven in chronological order. Another series that is coming in 2017 is CPE Bach in Pieces. I've been talking on that also several times. It requires a lot of preparation. I want to read together with you his book, his treatise on keyboard playing, demonstrating that on my clavichord, and make a series of 30, 40 episodes that will go weekly and will at the end lead to a new publication of my view on CPE Bach, together with a recording of the Probestücke, both versions, and that might lead to another vinyl box as we're doing now with the partitas, so a big project. I'm looking really forward to that, but I want to prepare it very well. And then some smaller things. We probably are going to reschedule the upload scheme on YouTube. Maybe go weekly videos, maybe weekly music recordings. And I'm thinking of limiting them to 10 to 12 minutes. If pieces are longer, probably I cut them in 2 or in 3 and I will upload them one day after another. Weekly recordings is keeping me busy for a long time because I want to have a weekly scheme with CPE Bach in pieces and with the other series we are going to do. And the 3 recordings I made now per month are not fitting into that schedule. So for new people who are coming to the channel, it's sometimes a little bit confusing what the upload scheme for YouTube is. And that still is a main issue for a YouTube channel, to have a very steady upload scheme. So that might change after the recordings of the partitas. We see how that goes. So that's a lot. That's going to change, not all at once, of course, but gradually. We want to put a lot of effort in YouTube and try to grow a little bit more, so to extend our audience, and that would of course make our business model, if you would like to call it like that, a little more sustainable maybe. So, and the bottom line is, all that I will be doing in 2017 for YouTube and as a musician, for me, that's my credo, so to say. I have to like doing it. That's very easy to say. I like making music recordings. I like to practice. I like to practice together with you. I like to record all those pieces. That's the reason why we maybe step up a little bit more by making weekly music videos. We have to plan carefully for that, but that's possible. Of course, sitting behind the computer, editing all that stuff and doing all the social media thing, what's necessary, that I would very much like left once not to do that anymore, but that's what it requires. So I'm very realistic. In order to present to you the music recordings, I have to do the other part, as Anya is doing now, the website and everything that it takes with that. It's a lot of work. Once maybe we come on a platform where we can outsource some of those things, but not now. So that's the limit is not on YouTube, the production, it's the thing that comes after production. But that's something we have to solve, or we have to pass, and we have to go through that. But as long as the basic elements I like doing, and that's what I like doing, sharing with you the things that we create here, that's fine. And that's the basic philosophy, so to say, that drives us. Hope to see you a lot on the channel in 2017, to have a lot of interaction with you as we did in 2016. Was again a great year, and we'll see at the end of 2017 what has become of all those promises for 2017. We'll see then. Have a nice new year. I wish you all the best in 2017 with a lot of beautiful moments, and we see each other very soon again. Bye.